Let's talk about your money, and more importantly, your financial data. It feels like we're stuck in this constant battle, right? On one side, you've got these incredible cloud apps that are super convenient and powerful. But on the other side, there's that nagging feeling, that desire to keep your most sensitive info completely private. So what's the right move? Cloud convenience versus self-hosted control? Let's get into it.
It really all boils down to this one single question. Who gets to be in control of your financial data? Should it be some third-party company with a really slick app? Or should it be you and only you? You know, the answer is a whole lot more complicated than you might think.
And this brings us right to the heart of the matter, the financial data dilemma. We're always being forced to make this tough choice between these amazing, easy-to-use tools and the peace of mind that comes from keeping our data under our own lock and key.
I'm sure you've felt these frustrations before, right? You sign up for a service, pour all your data into it, and then it feels trapped. It's stuck on their servers. You start wondering who exactly is looking at your transactions, and oh man, the subscription fatigue is real. Another monthly fee for the good features. Maybe the app doesn't even work with your bank or have the cool AI insights you were promised. It's exactly this kind of stuff that makes people start looking for another way.
So, let's look at that first option, the cloud. The best way to think about it is like renting a really nice, fully furnished apartment. You don't own the place, but hey, it's super convenient, and everything just works from the moment you walk in.
And the power you get is just undeniable. We're talking about real-time monitoring that can spot patterns a human would totally miss, predictive analytics that actually give you a glimpse of what might be coming down the road, and it all connects seamlessly to your other business tools. The best part, the AI doesn't just throw numbers at you. It writes up an explanation of what it all means, ready for you to share.
And check this out. This quote from David Kim over at TechScale Solutions just nails it. He says, using a tool like this is like having a senior financial analyst on call 24/7. Now that is a powerful idea.
Okay, but what if renting isn't your style? What if you want to own the place? Well, that brings us to the other side of the coin, the world of self-hosting. This is like owning your own house. Yeah, it's more work, but you know what? You own every single brick. And the promise here is just so compelling. Total control. We're talking complete data sovereignty. Your data on your server, period. You own the whole system down to the source code. There's no vendor trying to lock you in. And best of all, no more of those recurring subscription fees. And if you use AI, it's built from the ground up to be private, anonymizing your data.
And when you really put them head to head, the differences are pretty stark. A custom, self-hosted system, it can sync your data in near real time. We're talking under 5 minutes. Cloud tools, you might be waiting a day or two. Self-hosted uses your custom rules, not some generic ones. And the big one, data ownership. It's in your database, not on some company's platform out in the ether.
So it seems like the case is closed, right? If you want total privacy and control, self-hosting is the obvious winner. End of story. But this is where our story takes a really interesting, unexpected turn. We have to talk about the hidden privacy paradox.
I mean, it sounds perfect, doesn't it? You run the software, you control the hardware, you own the data. It's a privacy fortress, watertight. Or is it?
And then you're scrolling through Reddit and you see a comment like this one from user Willow108, completely self-hosted for privacy, followed by using Plaid. And that laughing emoji, it says everything. This one little comment completely unravels a huge assumption a lot of us have been making.
So here's the catch. Here's the big aha moment. How do these apps, any of these apps, actually get your transaction data from the bank? Well, building custom connections to thousands of different banks is a gigantic job. So most apps, even the self-hosted ones, use a middleman, a third-party service called a data aggregator. And Plaid is one of the biggest names in the game. They're the bridge between your bank and your app.
So let's trace the actual data flow here. With a typical cloud app, your data goes from your bank through Plaid to the app company's server. Both Plaid and the vendor can see it. Now, with a self-hosted app, you get to cut the app vendor out. That's a huge win. But look, Plaid is still in the middle. They still see your data. That privacy chain has a link you probably didn't even know was there.
And that one realization, that a third party's almost always in the mix, it changes the entire conversation. Suddenly, the risk isn't just about choosing a server in the cloud versus a server in your basement. It's about opening our eyes to the universal threats that target all financial platforms, no matter where they happen to live. Because think about it. At the end of the day, your financial data is the jackpot. It is a super high-value target for hackers and malicious actors.
And honestly, they do not care if that data is on a giant server farm or a tiny computer under your desk. The value is in the data itself.
And the threats we're facing today are so much more sophisticated than simple hacking. We need to talk about something called adversarial attacks. These are clever attacks specifically designed to trick and manipulate the AI systems that power all these modern financial tools. It's like a form of psychological warfare against the machine.
And these attacks are incredibly sneaky. With data poisoning, an attacker can secretly corrupt an AI's training data, basically teaching it to make bad decisions or even creating hidden backdoors. With evasion attacks, they can make a fraudulent transaction look totally normal, so it slips right past the AI security guard. And model extraction? That's like corporate espionage, letting attackers steal a company's secret sauce, their valuable algorithms, just by asking the right questions over and over.
And if you think this is all just theoretical stuff, think again. The research shows a jaw-dropping 300% increase in these kinds of advanced attacks on financial data supply chains just since 2020. This is very real, and it's growing at a terrifying pace.
Okay, so after all that, where does this leave us? Well, it leads us to a really important conclusion. There is no single best or safest solution out there. It's all about making a conscious choice about which set of trade-offs you're willing to live with.
So let's look at this comparison one more time, but with our new understanding. Cloud apps, high convenience, low control. Self-hosted, high control, low convenience. But now look at the risk. With cloud apps, you're trusting the vendor and the aggregators. With self-hosted apps, you still have to trust those aggregators, but now you're also 100% responsible for your own security. And those universal AI threats we talked about, they're an equal opportunity problem. They apply to everyone.
And that right there is the key, the most important takeaway from all of this. The goal isn't to eliminate risk, because let's be honest, that's impossible. The real choice is about deciding which risks you are willing and able to manage. Are you managing a relationship with a vendor, or are you managing your own server security? So I'll leave you with this one last question to chew on. After everything we've uncovered, is true financial privacy really about where your data lives, or is it all about how well it's defended, no matter where it is?